Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to today's Friday video. And we're actually doing Trump versus Warren. And before we get into this, look at how many candidates the Democrats have. This is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, before I get into it, I know she's not going to see this, but Nancy Pelosi, or to be more polite, Madam Speaker, you need to learn how to control the people within your caucus. Because if you don't, you're going to spoil everyone. Not just your caucus, you're going to spoil the Democratic Party for anyone who wants to vote for them. You know, there's a saying down here, spoil the rod, spare the child. Or spare the rod, spoil the child. Excuse me. And that's what you're doing right now. You're not disciplining your representatives who are bursting out, who are making absolutely idiotic policy proposals that have no chance of passing and are really just symbolic. I had this complaint with the Republicans when they had both chambers during the Obama years. I didn't voice it, but now, as I'm starting to gain some clout, I personally feel that it is the correct thing to do. Anyway, so let's get into this. So, Warren is not going to survive a Democratic primary. It's both number of candidates and also she's not the top of any of her areas in terms of her category. There are women who have a higher profile than her. There are progressives who have a higher profile than her. There are establishment politicians who have a higher profile than her. There are New Englanders with a higher profile. And in all honesty, if she does make it, that whole Native American heritage thing, yeah, it was funny in 2016. But now that it's been verified that she has zero heritage, that's basically the equivalent of a Tyson uppercut. That should automatically disqualify her, in my opinion. Now, obviously, if you think Trump has problems that should have automatically disqualified him, that's your opinion, and you're free to have that. Obviously, Warren can run. She's, her own free individual. She's a person with aspirations. She has the ability to. If she wants to run, she should. But just be aware that her chances in a general are not very good nowadays. So let's get the obvious stuff out of the way first. States that I am 100% certain that unless anything stupid happens, are going to go to Warren. So we'll talk about Delaware. DC will go to her. Vermont will go to her. Hey, we'll talk about New Mexico. States that will 100% under every circumstance, again, minus something insane, will go to Trump. We'll talk about these. Okay. I'm going to say, and that looks a lot in favor of Warren right now. Oh, how did I forget New York? Sorry about that. Yeah, this looks in favor of Warren. 57-point advantage going into the swing states. Sorry, 54. The problem is, this is where Republicans tend to do well. States that I am very confident, but not 100%. We're talking maybe 80 to 90% confidence. That automatically changes it. I'm a little less confident about Delaware simply because it's a weird state and no one really knows. Actually, I should have split those up. I'm not even confident about Minnesota at this point. So this is basically dead equal going into states that I would consider really competitive. The states that you should be competing in. And I'm going to start by giving Iowa to Trump, the 2nd congressional district in Nebraska to Trump. We're going to give Trump North Carolina, Arizona, aka the Romney map plus Iowa and Ohio. But here's where it gets really bad for Warren. We're going to give Trump the incumbency advantage in Florida. And again, this prediction is assuming the race is polled and polls show it's competitive, which they likely will. The economy isn't doing worse than it is now, maybe a slight bit better. Job numbers continue to look strong as they have. The Fed doesn't make any stupid mistakes. We don't go into any more wars. We don't have a market boom or anything like that. Nothing happens with the Mueller probe, basically what it's been doing now, which is absolutely nothing, at least related to collusion. Excuse me. Anyway, so this should be very worrying. 260 votes. That means all but 3 of the swing states could give it to them. This should be worrying for Democrats. Republicans, you should be thrilled at this. So let's start giving states to Warren. Minnesota, in all likelihood, is still going to remain in the hands of the Democrats. It's just the way it is. I'm not sure how much New Hampshire likes Trump. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they don't. So I'm going to give that one to Warren. Plus, she has some Northeastern credibility. So, actually, I'm going to drop his likability there. It's a regional thing. Anyway, so I'm going to slightly lean that to Warren, Maine's at large. She doesn't really have Rust Belt credibility. She just doesn't. Trump still does. In many regards. And his work with NAFTA and now whatever the new one is, MACA or MCAA or whatever the new trade thing he negotiated with some slight retooling. It's decent, at least to people in the Midwest, from what I've gathered. Obviously, if you're from the Midwest, please, I'd like to hear from you on what your opinion on that stuff is. Virginia, probably Warren's going to win that one. Nevada's weird. I'm going to give it to Warren simply because I think it's more Democratic leaning than polling will ever indicate. But given a decent economy, I think Trump definitely has the advantage. And then it's Wisconsin and Michigan that are just, I'm not sure what to think about these two states. Wisconsin, much more likely to go for Trump again than Michigan is. Michigan might err on the side of safety and say that Michigan doesn't vote for him. But I think it's going to be a lot more stark of a. It's going to be a little bit more solidified in states that vote for Trump, as opposed to states that vote for Warren, as opposed to 2016. For example, he's going to win by a little bit larger margins in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, these places. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know just yet. Again, with these colors, these are my confidence margins, not so much what I think the vote totals in each state will be. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys next time.